This is a video on a cheap sharpening system. For $5.99, I went to AutoZone and got 4 sheets of sandpaper, 200 grit, 400 grit, 800 grit, and 1000 grit. I also have, for reprofiling and completely changing the edge geometry, I have a 150 grit sandpaper. And then for finishing, I have 2200 grit sandpaper on this block right here. And it works just like any old steel, or not steel, stone, and you just go over it. And you'll end up with a nice polished edge. The benefits of the system are you can build a nice edge starting off at a 220 grit. Once you got a nice utility paper cutting edge on that, you have 400, and you further refine it with the 800, and then you get to 1000, you further refine it, get that edge nice and smooth, then you finish it, and you really build it up, and you're not just taking a 400 grit sand or sharpening stone and just sitting there for a while trying to build this edge that you want. You're actually stepping it up. Once you get each layer perfect, you step it up to the next grit, and you can get a nice smooth shaving sharp edge with this system. The downfall of this system is you are using sandpaper, so it wears out and you'll have to end up getting a new one. So a stone wears out, but very slowly. This, each section you use, say you use this part, well, now it's dull. Now you got to go to this part, and then so each knife takes a chunk of the paper out. Each section you might be able to get 2 knives out of each part, but it does put a nice, smooth, even edge on, as long as you go through the steps. Like, you don't just go do a couple passes here and here and then think you're going to have a nice edge, because just throwing a 1000 grit edge on it doesn't mean anything unless you have your proper building blocks and go from the 220 grit, 400 grit, 800 grit to 1000, and just keep on building up. With the 220 grit, you should be able to get a paper cutting edge, slicing cleanly through paper. And then once you get that, you keep on going and refining your edge more and more, and then you finish it on 2200 grit, or even the 1000 you can finish it on, but it gives it a nicer polish with this. And it's $5, and there you go. Plus, if you have any 2x4s laying around, you can build something like that. That's about it. Thanks for watching.